Malabar, welcome to Myanmar Today. I'm Henry Zin, and we've got the latest news and reports. First report on public meetings to bring about full-fledged democratic system. For some of us who are worried and are on the hot topic of the current virus outbreak, there are some supportive measures against the spread of the novel coronavirus. A story coverage on Myanmar supporting China's efforts in fighting against the novel coronavirus. And the last report on decrease in Chinese tourist arrival, the impact on Myanmar tourism. We'll definitely get to the reports in a while, but before that, let's take a look at local news. Ministry of Information and Yangon Region Government jointly opened a community centre in Bahan Township, Yangon, Saturday morning. The community centre is built with state funds. Union Minister for Information Dr. Pei Min said community centres serve as important pillars of democracy as the power of democracy depends on the degree of public involvement. Comprehensive use of community centres is required as the public can exchange ideas. The Bahan Community Centre is the first to be built by the state, which spent 484.1 million kyats for the centre, equipped with modern facilities. The second centre to be built with state funds is in Tandwe in Rakhine State. Although all 417 district and township IPRD offices are not upgraded into modern facilities, they are still serving as community centres. The Ministry of Health and Sports received donations of face masks and protective suits from Global Red Cross societies last Saturday to prevent infections of 2019 nCoV, acute respiratory disease. The International Red Cross and Red Crescent movement partner groups, such as Myanmar Red Cross Society, Norwegian Red Cross, German Red Cross, Danish Red Cross, Turkish Red Crescent, and Swedish Red Cross donated 250 pairs of personal protective suits and 5,000 face masks, worth about $16,500. MRC Chairman Dr. Mau Mau Mien and officials said their humanitarian group is coordinating with the MOHS to screen and control the transmission of coronavirus at the border crossings and will also distribute educative posters and pamphlets published by the ministry and WHO. The MRC has formed rapid response teams with 300 well-trained members to take action against acute infectious disease. The Ministry of Health and Sports has urged the UN agencies, INGOs, and NGOs to cooperate in the control measures of 2019 nCoV. The concession agreement for the BDS Smart City project between Yangon Region Government and BDS Smart City Company was signed at the Yangon Region Government office last Friday. Located at the corner of Shui Li and Myananda Street in New Dagon Saigon Township, the Smart City project will be implemented on a 183-acre land. The BDS Smart City Company, which is a subsidiary company of Berjaya Land Berhad, Malaysia, won tender for the project on 28th of May 2019. Pursuant to the concession agreement, BDS Smart City Company will own the exclusive rights over the land for 50 years and further extendable for 2 consecutive terms of 10 years each. The Smart City project initially started as a government effort, but a decision was made to involve the private sector to speed up the project. BDS proposed to undertake a public housing and mixed development project on the land. This includes plans for affordable housing, medium-cost apartments, high-end condominiums, commercial units comprising shophouses, and institutional facilities such as hospitals, schools, and community centers to be built over 3 phases. That's all with the local news, and here's the first report on Myanmar Today. A public meeting organized by Chief Minister of Yangon Region Government U Pyo Min Thein in cooperation with local representatives of Sanjiang Township was held in Padoma Park in Sanjiang Township on Saturday evening with the involvement of departmental officials and Sanjiang residents. Yangon Chief Minister U Pyo Min Thein clarified detailed points in the measures of roads, bridges, electrification, including citizenship registration and regional undertakings of Yangon regional government. Local representatives also explained regional development tasks carried out in the township and measures to deal with the needs of the public. Yena and Zayamo report.
A public meeting organized by Chief Minister of Yangon Region Government U Pyo Min Thein in cooperation with local representatives of Sanjiang Township was held in Padoma Park in Sanjiang Township on 8 February evening with the involvement of departmental officials and Sanjiang residents. In his meeting with the public, Yangon Chief Minister Upyo Minthe clarified details points in the measure of roads, bridges, electrification, including citizenship registration and regional undertakings of Yangon Regional Government. Ludor representatives also explained regional development tasks carried out in the township and measures to deal with the needs of the public. Upyo Minthe, Chief Minister of Yangon Region Government, said,
We will have to carry on the development of our country. We thank all present here for meeting with people. I have many left to talk about. We will continue meeting with the people in other townships as well. We will deal with the needs of the public in coordination with relevant governmental departments. If we are unable to cope with the situation in one sitting, we will do it later through the letter for personal meeting. We will have close relations with the people and be friendlier toward the people as well by clarifying what all the people want to know and what the people are feeling. Moreover, democratic system will become more matured.
Upyo Minthe added that a competitive system must be established in a bid to improve Myanmar to become a more developed country. Upyo Minthe continued to say,
Our authority is in the hands of the people already. We must establish a competitive system the representatives elected by the people will have to drive. For this, the entire people is to join hands with the government in the areas of administration, legislation, and jurisdiction to ensure democratic system is more matured.
The similar public meeting was held in Sanjiang Township 2 years ago. This time is not the same as the first because Chief Minister of Yangon Region Government Upyo Minthe attended the event in person. Ubobo Pridu Ludor representative representing Sanjiang Township said,
We were in power in 2016. We have constantly approached toward people-centered system since the National League for Democracy. For instance, we are drawing plans depending on the real requirements taking place among the people. We Ludor representatives are trying like this. The departmental officials are also the same actor. Eventually, the project comes through. To express the desire and the difficulties of the people are of importance. This public meeting aims at the people to express their desire and difficulties.
The two elders who were present at the public meeting put forward their difficulties, including citizenship registration, floods in the rainy season, and conflicts of land ownership. Domimi A, a resident from Sanjiang Township, said,
We, the people, are very glad to directly meet with the Yangon Chief Minister. This point is very delightful. All our people can present all things the entire people long for. We are very delighted that the Mayor and the Chief Minister would pay attention to the current situation of the dwellers in our ward, and they would do as much as they could. I suppose only if we have good contacts with Ludor representatives can they provide assistance when we are in need.
During the public meeting, Chief Minister of Yangon Region Government Upyo Minthe heard reports presented by the people and replied to the questions raised by the people. Upyo Minthe promised that he would deal with the difficulties facing the people in coordinating with the relevant departments.
That's a report on public meetings to bring about full-fledged democratic system. It has been more than a month since China has been fighting against the novel coronavirus, and international aid and support are constantly showing they're standing together with China. Besides the aid and support, it is important to strategically control the virus and prevent it from spreading to more citizens and regions around the world. Take a look at the report.
Hello everyone, this is your reporter Dora reporting you from MI Radio. The novel coronavirus outbreak in China is currently causing the international critical concern. As Chinese government and their people are trying with utmost effort to control the virus, many countries around the world are standing together with China and helping out in many ways to fight against the virus. Recently, the Yangon branch of Industrial and Commercial Bank of China, ICBC, started to provide a green channel between China and Myanmar for organizing donation during the epidemic. MI Radio team met with Mr. Wang Jitao, Director of Executive Office and Manager of Yangon Branch HR Department of ICBC Bank. He explained us about the newly launched anti-epidemic green channel of ICBC Bank in Yangon.
一直以来，中缅两国有着深厚的传统。
Yangon branch of ICBC provides a green channel for the people of two countries to show their feelings in a special period through financial times. We believe that the people from both sides will treat each other sincerely, support each other, overcome the difficulties, and pass on the friendship between China and Myanmar from generation to generation.
The Green Channel officially opened it on 4 February, and up till now, it completed the donation for 2 enterprises through this channel.
The donor can remit the donation to the account number of Chinese charity by means of transfer, remittance, and public welfare donation at our counter and online bank through Green Channel. Our donation remittance business provides all-round services such as special person, counter and professional, provide the most favorable exchange rate, free of all remittance of fees, and guaranteed to complete the business on the day of remittance application submission.
Mr. Wen mentioned that this anti-epidemic green channel of Yangon branch of ICBC Bank is one of the most important measures taken by the bank, and its main task is to facilitate more people to work together with the front line, gather a little love, gather all the forces, and fight the epidemic together. According to the report by CGTN, currently, a total of 10,117 confirmed cases of the novel coronavirus infection had been reported in Wuhan City. And as the hospital beds are still in short supply, Wuhan is gearing up to use private hospitals, hotels, schools, and other places as designated sites for quarantine, observation, and treatment of patients. And also, Hubei has supported funds of totally 400 million yuan on construction of treatment sites across the province. Besides supporting and helping financially, as a neighboring country, Myanmar is also responsible for preventing and controlling the spread of virus inside or outside of the country. As Myanmar has become an emerging tourist destination for international travelers, it is important to have the strategic preventive measures to control the spread of the novel coronavirus. So, our MI Radio team met with Wu Senwei-Ao, the former Myanmar ambassador to China and currently the chairman of Myanmar-China Friendship Association, and asked about his opinion on this matter. He mentioned that Myanmar needs to consider how to control and prevent the virus based on national security plan. Also, he said national security plan doesn't mean only security and preventions, but it also includes the population security, health security, and etc. He mentioned that we need to apply this strategically to control the spread of virus.
National security plan အရဘယ်လိုထိမ့်မလဲသိမ့်မလဲဆိုတာဟာလေ
should not pave the way for business and trading sector ignoring the public health and virus infection. It is dangerous if we don't block the airways with the excuse of tourism sector decline. This is not something each department can operate separately. We need to unify all the sectors and take strategic preventive measures under the national security plans.
According to the record from Ministry of Hotels and Tourism, there were about 4,300,000 tourists already arrived in Myanmar in 2019, and among them, about 200,000 visitors traveled to Myanmar in December.
That's a report on supportive measures against the spread of novel coronavirus. You're with MI Radio's Myanmar Today. If you want to watch or listen to more programs from our station, you can just visit our website, miradio.com.mm, or tune into 96.1 FM in Yangon, 96.5 in Mandalay, and 96.7 in Naypyidaw. But of course, if you prefer to have it within your grasp, you can download our app on both iOS and Android platforms. Search by typing Myanmar INTL Radio, and you'll find the app. Download it on your devices so you can listen to our radio programs on the go. Stay with us as we bring you more reports on Myanmar today. The Information Secretary of the National League for Democracy mentioned his perspectives regarding novel coronavirus and the Chinese government taking decisive measures in order to stop the outbreak. In Myanmar, the Public Health Department is also doing investigation and giving equal treatment to all the isolated and quarantined patients. Let's take a look at the report.
In early December 2019, a new coronavirus designated 2019 nCoV was identified in Wuhan, the capital of China Hubei province, after 41 people developed a new novel pneumonia without a clear cause. The virus is capable of spreading from person to person. The incubation period ranges from 2 to 14 days, but it may be contagious during this period and after recovery. With that said, I have interviewed Myanmar Today, the Information Secretary of ruling National League for Democracy, for his perspectives regarding it.
The 2019 to 2020 coronavirus outbreak unfortunately started from Wuhan city of mainland China. Wuhan is a really beautiful city with thriving economy and historical buildings concentrated with cultures and traditions. As for now, there are over 24,000 confirmed infected cases with over 500 deaths, and the virus is now infected to over 28 countries and regions, and it is just sorrowful for all of us to hear that news, as China and Myanmar are really a close neighbor which has such a long history of giving a helping hand to each other whenever in need. I am really glad to hear that our country will be supporting China in the way we can, like donating food supplies, for example rice and all sort of things that we can be able to help them.
Myanmar also added on for the currently built hospital in Wuhan in just 10 days and discussed his expressions regarding it.
The government of China is rapidly building a 1,000-bed hospital in Wuhan as part of its efforts to contain suspected patients of contracting coronavirus. After hearing all these efforts that the Chinese government and their citizens are putting on to combat this miserable, the 2019 to 2020 coronavirus outbreak, teamwork, and their determination.
The team leader for Yangon Regional Public Health Department, Uyelenai, said the processes performed by the Department of Public Health for the outbreak.
The Department of Public Health is performing the two tasks mainly for this outbreak. One is awareness-raising campaign for the public. For this process, we are distributing the guideline brochures on the public area and on the website as well as on the social media. And we are releasing the accurate and reliable information for the situation, report on the case. And we analyze and decide on who should be in what kind of investigation stage. In this process, we have main focal persons in Public Health Department. If a suspicious case is notified, the focal persons start the investigation, the case, by following the guidelines, cooperating with the district and township public health centers. Then, the focal persons decide what kind of investigation into the case. If we decide that it is a normal illness, then the patients are being watched at home, and we doubt the patients according to the guideline investigation. We decide that the patients should be handed to the respective hospitals like Weibagi Hospital. Then the hospitals carry on the processes like isolation or quarantine.
Uyan Linai also told MI Radio for how all the patients are equally provided with adequate treatment.
So all the patients under investigation are equally provided with the prompt and adequate treatment by the specialists. We don't treat the patients differently because of the Chinese citizens or Myanmar citizens. There are some cases that Chinese people self-notify to the Yangon Hospital for the investigation.
I am Pyo Diridu. This is news reporting from MI Radio.
That's a report on Myanmar supporting China's efforts in fighting against the novel coronavirus. And here's the last report on decrease in Chinese tourist arrival, the impact on Myanmar tourism. Because of the outbreak of the novel coronavirus, the number of Chinese tourists is decreasing around the world. In Myanmar, China is the lead country with a high number of tourist arrival. The suspension of some flights and visas on arrival for China resulted in the declining number of Chinese tourists. Our reporters have the details.
China is the country with high number of tourists arrival in Myanmar. The visa on arrival of Chinese passport-holding tourists was granted in October of 2018, which resulted in double increase of tourist arrivals from China in 2019. Because of the outbreak of novel coronavirus, the number of Chinese people traveling around the world is on the decrease. After World Health Organization has declared the outbreak of novel coronavirus as a global health emergency, Myanmar temporarily suspended the visa on arrival of China. Being the top country with highest number of tourist arrivals in Myanmar, the suspension might have the significant impact on Myanmar tourism.
In the last week of January, the direct flight between Yangon and Wuhan City, where the virus originated, was suspended. Before the outbreak of coronavirus, 13 airlines were running, about 10 flights per day between China and Yangon. Some flights were also temporarily stopped flying. Moreover, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Hotel and Tourism, and Department of Immigration have decided to suspend the visa on arrival of China starting from February 1st. So the tourist arrival from China is obviously declining.
The number of tourist arrivals from China has shown the significant decline for the duration of 5 days before and after the suspensions.
Before we suspended some of the flights and visa on arrivals, 6,287 Chinese tourists arrived at Yangon International Airport, including 2,800 with visa on arrivals during 5 days from 20th to 24th of January. After the suspensions of the flights, the tourist arrival has decreased to 3,955, including 1,302 visa on arrivals from 25th to 29th of January. So the rate of total Chinese tourist arrivals by flight decreased by about 37%, and the rate of visa on arrivals decreased by about 52%. This is the situation before the suspension of visa on arrival. So after the suspension of visa on arrivals, there will be more declines.
Most of the Chinese package tours were cancelled, and the upcoming packages tours till the end of March were being suspended. The decrease of tourist arrivals can affect the souvenir businesses and other craft shops. Ume He, who runs a souvenir shop at Bojo Onsen Market, said they are receiving lesser number of customers.
Usually, January is the month with the most sales for our shop. But now, because of the outbreak of the coronavirus, the Chinese tourists have obviously decreased in number. I guess our shop has lost about 50% of buyers from China. Although the number of tourists from Western countries coming to the shop is stable, there's also an increase in the number of customers from other Asia countries, besides China. For us, the more tourists come and visit, the more we can sell to them. But now our business is affected.
Being the important country for tourism sector in Myanmar, both governmental organizations and individuals working in tourism fields are looking forward to the recovery of Chinese tourist arrival.
The outbreak of the novel coronavirus leads to the unfavorable consequences not only in our countries but also in other countries as well. In tourism sector, of course, the tourist arrival will drop. China has high number of outbound tourists contributing towards inbound tourism of other countries. So when it has overcome the threat of the virus, we have to implement the recovery of the tourism market from China.
That's all the reports on Myanmar Today. The world is constantly hit by natural disasters, facing health crises with virus outbreaks, climate change at its peak, animals dying at an alarming rate, and things are escalating so quickly that I believe we should keep up with the news from around the globe. So let's take a turn to some international news and find out what's happening around the world. A total of 40,171 cases of novel coronavirus were confirmed on the Chinese mainland as of midnight on Sunday, with 908 deaths, according to China's National Health Commission. The updated figures include 97 new deaths and 3,062 new cases that were reported on Sunday. There were also 632 more recovered cases, bringing the total to 3,281. In addition, a growing number of patients with the novel coronavirus have recovered from the disease and have been discharged from hospitals across China.
特别是这2天大批量的推演，每天的推演2个、3个，所以就是坚定了我们医务人的信心。同时也显示会就是说积极配合防控工作，我们要有信心，一定会战胜这次疫情。
Chinese ambassador to the U.S. Cui Tiankai warns xenophobia will harm the joint effort between China and the United States to fight the coronavirus. He made the remarks on a TV interview with American broadcaster Columbia Broadcasting System, CBS. Last week, U.S. Senator Tom Cotton suggested that Chinese officials misled the public on the origins of the coronavirus, saying it may have come from China's biological warfare program, citing sources from U.S. intelligence. Cui slammed the accusation, saying it is very harmful to stir up suspicions, rumors, and spread them to other people. He argued, if we base our analysis on rumors, there is also groundless speculation that the virus comes from U.S. military labs. He added scientists around the world are still working to track down the source of the virus, saying initial research indicates it may come from certain animals. Thousands of people holding candles attended a vigil in northeastern Thailand on Sunday for the victims of a mass shooting by a rogue soldier who killed at least 29 people and wounded 57 others before being shot dead. Monks led prayers as people laid down white flowers in memory of the victims at the vigil, which was held by the statue of a historic local heroine, Tau Suranari, in the city of Nakhon Ratchasima. Some shed tears as they remembered the dead. The killings began at around 1500 local time on Saturday when the soldier opened fire in a house before moving to an army camp and then to the mall, where he shot bystanders as he moved inside. The soldier, identified as a 32-year-old Jakrampat Thoma, was finally shot dead by security forces early on Sunday in the basement of the mall. Most of the victims were killed at the city's Terminal 21 shopping center, where the shooter held out against an overnight siege with an assault rifle and ammunition stolen from his army base. Well, that's a wrap, and thanks for joining me on Myanmar Today. I'm Henry Zin. Wash your hands, wear your face mask, drink lots of water, and keep yourselves fit and away from any possible virus. Have a great day, everyone. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.